Another day of the Eastern European DPC Division 2 returns, and today we have a treat for you guys because we're gonna have a 3-game day. It's gonna be MoneyMakers versus Sybercats, Sigma YNT versus Namiga, and we end the day with ULA Kumnihao versus No Sorry. I'm gonna be keeping you company here for the first series, and then my trusted colleague will be taking over for the other two. But last time that we had the 3-game day. This is the second one. We're of course gonna have the third one in week number 3. But last time we had it, it was a 9-game day, and we're all hoping here that that is gonna be the case here. Though I would say that we have somewhat of a favorites in every single series. Maybe this first one is a little bit out there. Moneymakers, they are still playing with their stand in Klaxon, and they didn't look super strong when they played with him versus Sigma YNT. Though then again, Sybercats, they did barely beat Sigma YNT as well. So we'll see how it's gonna look between these two teams. Overall, both of the teams have solid rosters, but haven't really been showing us all that much here. So I'm kind of hoping that we get some higher level Dota from them, because these are some, when well-known players have been in the scene for quite some time now, and well, they've just been playing subpar. DK Fogus, he was in Division 1, he played with Darkside, and with him, Darkside did stay in Division 1. Then he got and they got eliminated. So a lot of good potential here. Bignum and Slayer on Moneymakers, a big support duo, but for some reason they just haven't found their stride. Neither of the teams. Sybercats was always top in Division 2, but of course they did change from time to time. So it is normal that that's the case. And Moneymakers, they'll open up with the Enchantress. Okay, we have seen Enchantress openings quite a lot, but without the Beastmaster, it's not as powerful. Still, what they're gunning for, I think, is well, of course, the laning stage strength of this hero. Every single time I see it, I want to see a hero that can burst this hero down, right? Something that can contribute to killing it. Sapphires, Hoodwinks, Rubik's. That makes sense. Of course, we'll see what he will be able to steal. And they go with the Primal Beast as well. Okay. That is a hero that can definitely deal with the Enchantress anytime in the game. Trample is just too good of a spell for the Enchantress to live through. You have very low HP. The Trample is, I don't want to call it burst magical damage, but it is that. And the Dragonite comes out from Moneymakers. So they haven't played it on position 1, but I think Yegor has played it. So let me check that one. Moneymakers. No, it was in the offlane mostly. Not like they played a lot of it though. So this is a new opening for them, something that we don't see too often. I'm gonna assume that it's gonna be a Klaxon DK, though it wouldn't surprise me if Yegor does take it. Lucas, that's a bit of a stretch. That really is a bit of a stretch. I think only certain teams do feel comfortable putting the DK in the position 1 role. So, ban out the Clockwork. On the other side, they get rid of the OD and the Ursa. Even more. I mean, OD destroys the Dragonite. Ursa destroys both the Dragonite and the Enchantress. Your added armor is great, but yeah, well, versus the Ursa, it's the damage will stack up, and at some point you will die. So I'm okay with the bans here. What I would like from Moneymakers is for them to get something that is gonna utilize the long instant stun from the Dragonite, so that they can't kill a hero, right? The Enchantress doesn't contribute to that one. She can help you in lane if these two are gonna be laning together, but when it comes to finishing people off, until later portions of the game, you don't really contribute much. And Dragonite without a position 4, let's say Skyrit Mage, Hoodwink, Snapfire, Techies, Just doesn't shine as much as he could. Maybe a Mirana, you know, that long stun could do it, but a hero like a Primal Beast with a lot of HP is gonna live. So, Sybercats, a lot of carries got removed.
10 seconds remaining.
That's interesting. This could be a Jakiro pick, to be honest. I would not mind it.
Remaining.
We've seen so many Jakiros after a Rubik, but they'll go for the Undying. So they're definitely going for let's crush the lane here. Curious to see what they will lane with this one, because the Drow and the Morphling are gone. They're probably your best bets. You still have a Sniper, but not a lot of it, really. We'll see if that's something that they want to get. Having no protective heroes really isn't the best thing. So Moneymakers, they see the Undying. I still think the Snapfire is just so good here. I'm a big fan of the hero, and the hero is just not that popular. Let me see how many times it has been played. Oh, actually, it is fairly popular. It has been played 11 times. Good to deal with the Tombstone. You have some magic damage. You can combo up with the Dragonite quite nicely. They go for the Timber. Okay. Interesting. This probably puts Klaxon on the Timber and Yegor on the mid lane Dragonite. Might be a mid lane Timber, but you know, it's not Malrine in your team, so I don't know how confident Yegor is at using the Timber Saw as a position 2. If it's a mid lane Primal Beast, I would get it, but you don't know. You just don't know right now, and Sybercats, they're gonna have the response picks. Just some burst. Okay, I mean, the Timber is burst damage, somewhat. They only have one stun though on Moneymakers, and it's a single target stun. That could prove to be a problem, especially when you're playing against the lineup that on paper should do well in the laning phase, at least at the start. Rubik Primal Beast, Undying plus anything does good in the lane. So I'm a little bit scared here for Moneymakers. Any lockdown? I think that's pretty much a necessity. Any follow-up stun to the Dragonite stun. There's the Snapfire. I mean, I Like I think it's the best pick possible. Terrorblade will come out. Okay. I mean, when you look at Moneymakers, they do have solid armor in the mid game, right? But as the game progresses, the Terrorblade will be an issue, and this Terrorblade will definitely build into Silver Edge. I love it. I think it's a great pick. Plus, Enchantress and the Snapfire have very low armor, so he's gonna rip them apart. Plus, his lane is gonna be solid. He actually picked 3 strength heroes into an Undying. That's something that could come to haunt you as the game progresses. So, Moneymakers, they need a carry. Sybercats either mid or an offlane. Sybercats think that this is gonna be a carry Dragonite and an offlane Timber. Have they played the carry Dragonite?
10 seconds remaining.
No.
5 seconds remaining.
No, they haven't. Weird that they're thinking something like, I guess a Radiance build versus a Terrorblade is always nice. It does help you against any illusion hero. But do you really would want to put that Dragonite on one? I wouldn't mind it, considering that you are missing a little bit of that murdering potential. That's something that you want. And you're good at creating space, but the Primal Beast can kill everybody. The Enchantress, the Timber. Even the Dragonite is in trouble against him, especially once your HP does get removed a little bit by the Undying. So they get rid of the Queen. And Sybercats, they need burst damage. That's definitely the case. Yeah, Trample is a lot of damage, but it's not necessarily burst.
Radiant team pick.
The Batrider does count. This is a perfect Batrider game, to be honest.
You may
Storm
now
does.
select your hero.
Storm is the solid hero versus the Bat, because when he starts running into you, use the Remnant and he cannot pursue. Not a lot of stuns for the Storm. I like the Bat, but I think Yegor, a lot of it is riding on him, right? If he's not killing these heroes, it's gonna be a problem. So I am leaning Sybercats here. I have to say though, Sybercats did pick strong lanes, and they might lose them, right? If you look at Moneymakers lanes, there are no pushovers. So Sybercats, if they maybe in the laning stage do over push it, they could get punished severely for it. So yeah, definitely closer in terms of draft than I expected when I saw the Terrorblade, but Sybercats forgot about the Batrider. It's a perfect pick here. It just needs to work out, right? If Yegor starts falling behind, if he messes up the mid lane or something, dies once or twice, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble. Oh, that's kind of how I think this one should go. The two teams are very close to each other. Klaxon hasn't showed up the best in the team so far. He's playing now lane versus the Undying, so it's not gonna be easy. But he's a Timbers also, not the hardest of lanes for him. Once he gets level 3, it's gonna be easier. Interesting drafts from both teams. I think they're close to each other. That the teams are quite close to each other. I do believe that because of the stand-in, the Sybercats do hold an edge, and I would give like 52 to 48 in favor of their draft if I would have to choose. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game number 1. It's gonna be an interesting series. I think this is probably gonna be the most interesting series that we're gonna have here. But with that being said, guys, we are gonna be getting ourselves into the game. But before that, a word from our sponsors.
Bets on esports, bets on streamers, impressive bonus system, welcome bonus up to $600, cashback, artifacts, regular promotions, daily giveaways. Try yourself as a bookmaker. Great lines. EGB.com, more than just a bookmaker.
And we get ourselves here into game number 1 of Sybercats versus Moneymakers. I have a lot of trust that this series will be fun. The other two today could be pretty one-sided, so I'm hoping that that everything is gonna be fine there.
What a handsome devil.
30 seconds.
Let's
to
see
battle.
the probably not gonna be seeing too much in terms of fighting here on level 1. So let's see how the teams will approach it. SV on his trusted Rubik. He's a beast on this hero.
Takes a fool's life.
The battle
Let's see now,
begins.
Lucas. I really want to see if he goes for a Midas, a Radiance. I think Radiance makes a lot of sense, but sometimes you cannot get away with it. It just comes down to what his team will be needing him to do. So it is gonna be a Snapfire and the Dragonite lane. That's a lot of tankiness, especially against magical damage, because your strength heroes, you have a lot of HP. So I'm curious to see if the Rubik and the Primal Beast can apply any kind of pressure here. There are some Discord lags there from Alberca. Force Majeure is gonna confirm that one, so hopefully all those things do get fixed up. I very rarely have Discord issues, and teams do have it from time to time. So I don't know what the problem is. Looking at the odds here, Moneymakers are favorites. I think with Vierge, I would agree, but with Klaxon, they still need some time to get themselves 100% into the game.
Use mana, get the
You did your best.
Anyways, though, Big Num, please don't love winning. We all remember Division 1 and a certain player who would annoy us all the time with the I love winning. Shira, he seems pretty bored, you know? Arm resting on the cheek. It's like, why do I have to wait now? Why can't Discord work properly? player. For a second, he looked like he was a picture there. He was just not moving at all. Slayer, don't scare us. Don't scare us, please. We're here. We care about you. We want more cool Dota plays to come out from you. If I'm not mistaken, Slayer used to be a mid player. I have
Use mana, get killed. Dora is so easy, actually.
Whoa! Sick burn!
his times in Vega Squadron.
Ah, that's what I'm talking about.
No, he was always a 5, it seems like. Because that's 2015. I think he's yeah, because he played a lot of Lina, now I remember. He played a shit ton of Lina. And that Vega Squadron roster was actually pretty successful. So we're still waiting on Alberca. Seems like the Discord just isn't working properly.
That was lame.
But MoneyMakers, player he really wants to play, and we really want to watch Dota. Weird that he disconnected from the game. That would, because if it's a Discord issue, the game should not be affecting it whatsoever. But it seems like it is. Seems like Alberca has more than Discord issues. Hopefully it's not a internet issue. We've had our fair share in the previous tour of teams running to PC game clubs.
I love winning.
And MoneyMakers, they're ready. They're ready. It just comes down to if Sybercats are. Alberca is back. That doesn't mean that all of the problems are fixed, though.
I love winning.
We're still gonna be waiting here. Looking at these drafts, though. So you have 3 strength heroes versus a Undying. On the other side, you have 1 strength hero versus the Timbersaw. So the Whirling Death isn't gonna be that big of an issue. Looking at the mid lane, Chira, I do assume he should be coming out slightly ahead. Like, Yegor winning this one, I don't see it. I really don't see it. The Chira should come out ahead. Unless you make a mistake and die, which should really never happen. If you don't get too close to the creeps, you leave a Remnant, you stay next to a Remnant, the Batrider coming forward will probably take a lot of damage and won't be able to continue the pursuit. Force Majeure, doing undying things, being super annoying. Pegnum, he's an Enchantress. He is an annoying hero, but needs some time for that annoyance to really kick in compared to an undying early on. Klaxon. He really doesn't want to be on the receiving end of that one, and this is a level 2 Terrorblade, so you can go for the meta. Klaxon doesn't want to be a part of that one. Force Majeure will try to prevent the pull. He's probably going to be successful, but it will take some time, and the creeps will be pulled back to the lane. So no shenanigans here, no pulls coming through just yet. Alberca farming quite nicely. Sybercats, they're farming well on every single one of their heroes. I think that's to be expected. Of course, Alberca, this lane becomes dangerous as the Timbersaw gets more levels, but on paper it should be fine. Yegor he's struggling. And it's not that big of a difference, but it's not something that you should just ignore. Oh, Chira. Have to be careful there. No flame break though, so it's not gonna be going for Firefly and Chira. Well, sticks used. healed back up, and he's more than happy to continue laning here. Both of the mid laners not going for water runes just yet. A very, very slow start here to the game. No kills, only farms so far, benefiting the side of Sybercats. Of course, it's only the first 3 minutes, and that could change. The Undying is not going to be as strong as time progresses. The Primal Beast and the Rubik, though, they are going to be strong. So, you should never underestimate Snapfire Dragonite. A lot of stuns, a lot of damage. The problem is that you use all of your damage at the start, and then you don't really contribute much. You know, stuns, Scatter Blast. Your right clicks are pretty mediocre. I like the DK focus that go for the uproar. The idea here is to increase the damage. Just make sure that you're farming a little bit better. SV engaging in epic combat with Slayer, but in the end they both decide, yo bro, let's just call it a day. Nice block there on the camp from Jesvi. So he's the one that's going to be controlling that camp for now. No stacks will be coming through, but maybe a pull will. Lucas, he's starting to fall farther and farther behind. I mean, he's 10 CS behind the Terrorblade. That's an issue. And Chira is starting to get a little bit bullied by the Bat Rider. I guess that's the case when the Bat is level 4 or 5. That's where things can become scary. But Storm Spirits usually do go to the jungle level 5 just to get their level 6 not to die, and then, well, their death is really hard to attain. Oh, TP out from Chira onto tier 2. He'll be fine. That's playing with your life a little bit too much. He didn't want to stand his ground, and understandably so. But he does get himself out, so everything will be turning out just fine there for Chira. Okay, so the lanes are starting to stabilize Moneymakers. They didn't start off with a good note, and Yegor, he does kill Chira. Nice rotation from Bignum. This is big. This is actually huge. The Bat Rider getting that one is sick, right? Yeah, sick burn. Because, first of all, you don't have a TP on the Storm. This is why you go to jungle level 5. Second of all, the Bat is not going to have level 6, so it can kill you again. And that was a beautiful rotation from Bignum. Understanding it. Oh, okay, guys, this guy doesn't have a TP. He cannot do anything. We can kill him now. And make Yegor's game very easy. And that's very important in this game. If a Bat Rider is having a good one, everybody will suffer on the side of Sybercats. The only one that will have somewhat of an early BKB is the Primal Beast. Everybody else is a goner.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Pretty much a goner. Still, the Terrorblade is farming super well, of course, as a carry. You'd much rather your teammates farm well, create space for you. We'll see if Alberca can make some plays around the map to make his good early start a little bit more beneficial to his entire team. And Bignum, well, no more Centaurs. He's not going to be as lucky, but the Satyr is here, so there's going to be some mana burns coming through. Klaxon, level 5, TP bottom from the Undying. Undying isn't really a hero who's gonna kill him. Klaxon doesn't have any points in the reactive armor, so he's going full on in fighting. He wants to be able to kill the Terrorblade, and I like it. I have to say I like it. All of his spells connect, and the Terrorblade might just actually die, given his low HP. Kira, he's level 6. You're up against the lasso. No follow-up stun though on YNT. Cookie could be considered one, but see if that is something that can work. Chira, so be careful. Slayer comes from the side. See a bit too deep. He's gonna be fine. That raindrop, of course, preventing any massive damage from the scatter blast. And they want this tower to take as much damage as possible. Of course, the siege creep will now finally die, but that is a lot of damage being done to the mid lane tower of Sybercats. Chira Continuing to farm. He's going to be going for the power treads. We can assume a Witchblade right after it. You are going to be needing that damage. You definitely are. You're not getting any kills on Cybercats, and your heroes kind of rely on them. I'm surprised that the Primal Beast didn't try to go a bit more aggressive in the laning stage. So everything has stabilized, but it has stabilized in favor of Moneymakers slightly, of course, because we have 1 kill 8 minutes in. So a bit of a pacifistic approach here from Cybercats and Moneymakers. Testing each other out. Klaxon diving. He has level 6. He's gonna be going for this one. Tombstone gets placed down. Klaxon, he wants the kill. He will be getting it now. The question is, can the Storm finish the job? He does have a solid amount of mana. Klaxon gets himself into the trees, and from those trees, he will not escape. A lot of damage done into the Storm because the Whirling Death surrounded by trees. But Shirobi will be fine. He gets the kill. He gets himself back. So finally, Cybercats get themselves on the board, but it's gonna cost them a TP and an Undying. DK Focus, Soul Ring, 2 mangoes, Phase Boots. He's going for a BKB next. I really like the first item BKB every single time I see drums. A team regrets it. It regrets it heavily. He's gonna start smashing the Dragonite into the ground. Actually, might be able to get this kill. The Dragon Tail comes out. It's gonna stop the trample. So DK Focus, he cannot do much about it. DK Focus
has fallen.
pressuring Lucas, but as he's being pressured, the mid lane tower has fallen, and the Batrider does have the DD. That definitely helped. Oh, this is big. These were stacks made for the Storm, made for the Primal Beast. And the Bat is gonna take them. We talked about Yegor needing to have a good game, and he's having a pretty decent one. Boots of Travels will be coming out if he wants them, as well as the Windlace. So he's gonna have something to tie them with. And to be honest, well, being everywhere on the map here is pretty important. Because you're the one that needs to be doing everything here in the early mid game. In terms of killing people, the Timbersaw can get some hate onto him. Bignum getting caught, doesn't have level 6, doesn't have his life. He will be taken down easily by Chira. Until you get your level 6 with the enchanters, you're very susceptible to being destroyed by the Storm Spirit.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Those right clicks, they do hurt, but once you have a 6, once the untouchable is there, you really aren't gonna be right clicked all that much, are you? Very, very slow start to the game. Haste from the Batrider coming forward. He was thinking about the kill, and he's still thinking about it. Just V is looking like he will die. The Batrider will finish him off, and Just V does get taken down. Brinto crisp. Yegor using the fact that there's no mid lane tower to just dive as much as he wants. DK Focus, every single time he has the pulverize, he goes for the Dragonite. That's actually a lot of damage. Jiro without any mana. Yegor will get fed a cookie. And the zombies will be fed no Batrider brains for now. Alberca does pop his meta. Let's see if he tries to pressure a little bit. He's ultra farmed. He really is. But he doesn't feel confident going forward. I can understand it. One bad death on the Terrorblade could mean a loss of a game. It's a lot different if you die in a team fight where a lot of resources were used, but you're going for a push and just dying because you agreed. That's a big no-no in Dota. Those kind of plays literally ruin you the game. So the Dragonite did go for a Midas, so we'll be able to scale later on. They do have a 1k gold lead, but considering the farm distribution, Cybercats, they're in a pretty decent spot. 2 of their cores are dropping out from Shark and Bignum. Well, he's dead. Oh, he uses the sticks. Bignum still surviving. And the Batrider is coming forward. Yeah, you cannot stop that one, Chira. He does have enough mana to get himself away, barely. And Bignum will be going down. And here comes the Primal Beast with a trampling. Klaxon Hood will be used. That's going to be protecting him a little bit, but let's see for how long. He finally gets taken down. Chira gets a double. And Yegor, he could be next. Chira comes in, pulls him possibly into his death. There's nowhere he can go. And the Mortimer's Kiss is raining down. Maybe they lose Force Majeure. But that's a small price to pay. Actually, he was greedy. He wanted the Storm. But the footwork of Chira, a little bit too good. Cybercats, the first big engagement. They are going to win it. It is going to go their way. Towers are still something that Moneymakers are probably good at taking currently, or better at taking than the side of Cybercats. Of course, once the
Radiant's
Terrorblade
top tower is under
does
attack.
get strong, that does change. Lucas is going Midas Blink, so no Radiance is gonna be coming out from this Dragonite, Midas Blink, BKB, possibly an Axe, Manta. Those are the items that you want to get on the hero. Of course, it's gonna be some time before he can actually finish them off, but it is a start.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Klaxon going for a Senj. I'm guessing there's gonna be a Senj and Kaya. I doubt you get the Halberd. I haven't seen a Timbersaw Halberd for a very long time, even though I think some games it could be good. People just see Senj and Kaya as too good of an item. So, Sybercats, they're smoking up, going towards the top lane. They want to open up the map for themselves. Nobody's there to kill. So, other than taking the tower, I don't see much that Sybercats can actually accomplish with this move. There's the Terrorblade is there. He's going to be able to take down the tower, and the rest of them, well, the smoke gang, they're searching for a kill, but that's not going to be happening.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Burka has a Yasha. Skadi will be next. The TPs are coming through. They want Alberka dead. They don't know that there's a lot of heroes here. Alberka gonna be lassoed. The burst damage isn't enough. He has the Sunder. Will be able to. Zip and Klaxon will be dying as well. Turns into a pig. Is it gonna be a roast one? Nope, not just yet. He gets himself away. Enough armor there to survive. And they will be able to save Alberka while taking the tower and killing 3 Moneymakers. They overestimate their abilities. This is a big loss. And Lucas, even he is being followed here by a creep. There might be a chance DK focus chases. He'll decide not to do so, but this is big. This is actually huge. 2 big fights for Moneymakers that they lose. They overestimated their damage. Just barely. That Sunder from the Terrorblade. And, it came out just in time, but that's the thing. The Batrider could have approached it a little bit slower, didn't have to lasso immediately. They thought they had the damage, they were wrong, they will pay for it. They'll pay for it dearly. Next time when he has an ultimate orb or possibly the entirety of the Skadi is when things will really be problematic. Alberka. He's gonna have the ultimate orb right now. He's having a grand time in this game. A really grand time. Yegor, he did have a good start on his Batrider, but has fallen off. This is the thing. When Batriders sometimes have a good start, they forget about farming and they go for a fight a couple of times, and then it comes back to bite them. Enchantress, no boots, does have the drums, so the movement speed is somewhat there. It's not like he's super slow. Yegor, he needs a BKB. And BK focus. He needs a kill here, and it is going to be Big Num that gets taken down. It's down onto the storm. They fall up there. They're trying to finish him off, and that's just perfect usage of spells coming out from the side of Moneymakers. One spell gets mistakenly used there, and you don't get the kill. But everything was done pitch perfect, pixel perfect, and they do secure themselves a kill. Nicely done. At least something. You're gonna be needing a couple of those, and Chira did have a big streak that you just gave away. She's definitely not gonna be happy. Nope. Rubik now has a chakram, so his damage output is actually quite high. You wouldn't want to mess with him. If somebody gets caught in a stun, pulverize, lift, there's gonna be a lot of burst damage coming your way. If the Rubik doesn't steal anything else in the meantime, but chakram is probably the best damage dealing spell. Maybe Scatter Blast, but Chakram is probably a bit better. And Rubik is not the type of hero to really have mana problems, so he should be okay. Sybercats, they're in a smoke. 9-4 in terms of kills. Their Terrorblade is still topping the network chart, of course. The Dragonite, he's in the vicinity. He does have the Midas jumping from Shira. He pulls in the Enchantress, can't really attack her all that well. And she is trying to run away with the lift though. They'll bring her back. And actually the Remnant doesn't connect. There's the fall off stun. The Storm is dead yet again. And look at DK Focus is dropping low. He has to pop the BKB. Now looks for Klaxon. Should be able to get himself to low ground. No, the tree was already cut down. He's gonna be smashed to the ground. He needs to go to the other tree. Will die. Before that happens, Alberca packs a little bit too much of a punch. Boy, again, they comboed down Alchira so well. That's the case. And the only reason that happened is because the Rubik moved the Enchantress away from the Remnant. If the Enchantress had died, I'm pretty sure Chira gets himself away. And then this is even more of a disaster for Moneymakers. But it is becoming a disaster. You have 2 range heroes and the Timber Saw. Or 4 range heroes and the Timber Saw. And there's going to be a Skadi on the other side. So this is pretty much a perfect Skadi game. Dragonite in his form does count as a range hero, so he will be slowed down severely.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
The BKB timings of Moneymakers, they will come out, but pretty much at the same time where the Terrorblade gets the Skadi. And that scares me. That really does scare me for Moneymakers. The gold lead, not that impressive. It's about 1k. Sybercats, in that regard, they're not super happy. But they might not know it. But I think they probably feel like this game is in their control, especially Alberca. Let's see if they are able to bring him down. Storm, let's go for the Sanjin Kaya. So no Witchblade. Okay, I thought Witchblade BKB was solid. But he might even decide to go for Lincoln's this game. It would not surprise me. Alberca. Is unsure of where the enemies are. Looking at the vision on the map, mostly Sybercats' vision is defensive. They have this Skadi. I'm guessing Manta BKB or straight up BKB for the Terrorblade, and you can walk into the pit. How do you even kill this beast? I guess with the double BKB, you can actually cut in quite well, not allow him to sunder and get the kill. But it's just not that easy. The Terrorblade is looking massive. He's 1.5, 1.7k gold ahead of the Midas Dragonite. And he's going for BKB. It's time for him to be untouchable, right? 30 armor if he gets magic immunity plus the extra HP. This hero is not gonna die. Do Sybercats walk into the pit either way? Yeah, Alberca, no fear, just runs in. Meta, seems like he doesn't feel like he needs it either. So Moneymakers are gonna have to respond to this one. There, Snapfire is on the bottom lane. That's the best one. Jump in from Chira. Immediately he jumps out as well. He's mana. A little bit on the lower side, but he has the regeneration. So now it does make sense why he jumped in and out. They're going for the Roche. The Timber Saw, some Timber Chains are flying through there on the screen, but really isn't doing much. And here comes the Chakram. He will not be getting a single dime. No experience, no gold, nothing for Moneymakers, and Aegis into the hands of Chira. So now it's gonna be much harder to win fights, because Moneymakers, the way that they've been approaching fights is, yeah guys, let's kill the Storm, right? He does a lot of damage and he's easy to bring down. Now with the Aegis, that's a little bit too tough. So they went for a smoke. This is something that Team Spirit does really well, is that they fight right after the Roche has fallen. But they have been scanned. Force Majeure, he knows exactly where his enemies are, and that's going to allow Sybercats to prepare themselves for any potential battle if it does come to it. But for now, no big deals happening on the map. All 3 of the cores of Sybercats ahead of their counterparts. Their support's a little bit more on the horror side, but to be honest, you know, who cares? The difference between the supports and net worth is actually quite minimal. The only one that is somewhat getting away is the Snapfire, and even that is debatable how much that will actually change. So Chira, he's going for a BKB. He understands if he lives that the fight is easy. Right. Yegor does have a BKB, will be forced to use it, and that's a bummer. He's probably going to be TPing out if he's not crazy, because he's surrounded and he's not TPing out. His BKB will expire. Not sure if he wanted to do that one. Jira pulling him in, the Glimmer Cape protecting him, and the Cookie as well. They get a stun onto the Undying. Tombstone is on the high ground. So, Moneymakers, you have to be very careful. Mortimer's Kisses, Force Majeure, even with the mech. Oh, he thought he got him. He thought he had him, but the mech and the sticks keeping him alive. This greed from the Mortimer's Kisses, this is not the first time we're seeing it in this game. This is not the first time Slayer that he's like, yeah, I got this one, let's go for next. And it just ends up being nothing in his favor. And Sybercats, they're already in a smoke. Storm, they will find the Timber Saw. Klaxon taking a ton of damage, and Big Man, he did use the Glimmer Cape on himself, even though his core needed that one to have any chances of living through this onslaught from his enemies. Kira. He's gonna be level 14 soon, level 15 as well. Terrorblade. BKB almost done, 300 gold away from it, so everything is working out well for Sybercats. In the past couple of minutes, they were the ones dictating the tempo, understandably so with an Aegis, but Alberca, he's not really the one sporting it, and he's the one doing the heavy lifting, attacking the towers, posturing aggressively, killing enemy heroes if need be. Alberca is just beast mode in this game when it comes to farming. 2-3, but he's 273 CS, 23 minutes in. 4 creeps. Taking genocide. A gem will get bought by the Snapfire. So I understand that your map is not looking good. You don't have good vision out, and the most important thing is you're feeling like your enemies are jumping you everywhere, so you want to make sure that you get those wards down. We'll see if it does work for Moneymakers. Now that one ward, one deep ward that Sybercats did manage to push down when they were put down when they were in the enemy triangle, it is still staying. The Snapfire just hasn't been getting on top of it just yet. Shira, BKB almost done. The Terrorblade has his. He's inside of the Invis rune with a 9-second BKB. Next item gonna be a Silver Edge, understandably so. No Manta, no SNY. He just wants to pack a punch and break both the Dragonite and the Timber Saw. So straight onto the tower. Glyph not there. This is a tier 2 dead. There's absolutely nothing that Moneymakers can or will attempt to do with it, especially with the Aegis being up for another minute. Alberca will take it down. The only question is, do you go for more? Do you feel greedy? Do you feel super confident? Which, not much reason not to, apart from your meta will be expiring fairly soon, and Moneymakers, they probably need to use that timing. One of the only ones they'll get. Big mistake could cost them a couple of structures. $12-5. 4K gold lead. One of the slower games that we've had, even though sometimes games are slow, they usually start gaining speed on teams and going for kills. At some point in the game, Yegor could go for a Firefly, has a TP out, and the BKB should be okay. They probably wanted to force out the BKB. That's not going to be happening, and the Aegis does finally expire, but I'm not sure that's going to be stopping Sybercats from going for more. There's a smoke, so no more Aegis. They want to fight. This should be quite obvious for the side of Sybercats. Let's see just how much. They have 3 BKBs on Sybercats, 2 on Moneymakers. This is a perfect timing for Sybercats. If it's not a perfect initiation for Moneymakers, they're gonna be absolutely decimated. So they have to be very, very careful. And Sybercats, look at them. Look at their positioning. Just in the jungle waiting for a potential rotation. Baiting on the Arcane Rune. Lucas will get it. He's level 17. Wants an Aghanims. Won't have it just yet. So it's gonna be the fire form of the dragon. There you go. You found the Undying. They will be able to bring him down. That's a nice kill. Still a smoke for position 5. Not ideal, but a kill's a kill. The Dragonite will have his Aghanim Scepter, so we will not be seeing the blue dragon form at all. Kind of a bummer. We very rarely get to see it, but that is just the reality of the game currently. Nope, DK Focus jumps in. They're going to be pulling him with that. That's a kill. That's actually a kill. A pretty easy one at that. The stun onto the Storm. The follow-up stun is needed, but Chira, he has the BKB. He's gonna stand his ground and fight Lucas with Arcane Rune. Yeah, feels confident enough standing his ground. Had a BKB, and Storm, well, no chances of forcing it out, so he'll just zip on out and escape. I feel like he could have zipped out and escaped without using his BKB, but he probably feels like the higher charges of the Dragonite are more important than his own. So he had an idea to force it out. It didn't work out. You get out, you survive. You're happy with it. Gold lead, though, it is not increasing, but Alberca is getting farther and farther away from the pack. He's at 19,000 net worth. The closest one, Dragonite, with almost 15. That's almost a full item. And that Silver Edge, once it comes out, that's where things become really scary for the two cores of Moneymakers. The two cores that felt like they're very hard to kill. They're gonna be very easily dealt with by Alberca. Even now, with just the Crystallis, he's not to be underestimated. But in 700 gold, he's gonna have his full Silver Edge. And, well, good luck, Moneymakers. Bad did drop right below in terms of net worth. But the supports of Moneymakers are still doing well, especially Slayer. He wants to get an Aghanim Scepter. He's working towards it. Has money for the second component as well. Let's see if that's going to be something that he wants to finish the spit out. Makes sense. You have longer range initiation. And I've seen spit outs change fights. Change games. Not too often, but it does happen. And Terrorblade just sending illusions. Those are some really strong illusion. And here comes that big boy who's going to be taking that tower down. While this is happening, Moneymakers, they cannot even threaten the bottom tier 2. They cannot do anything about it. It's going to be another stalemate here. Oh, they are going for the tower. Lucas, big black dragon. Once the tower dead, they have the glyph. We'll be using it, buying 7 seconds. But this tower should ultimately die. I don't see Lucas not being able to finish it off. A couple of hits, and he does get it. Roche up in 2 minutes, so a little bit of luck there for Moneymakers, but they need to bail. Smoke is coming from Sybercats. It's a little bit too late, to be honest. If it was 10 seconds earlier, maybe you catch someone this way. It's pretty much impossible. And look at him. Moneymakers already in their triangle, in a safe position. If Sybercats feel like they can go there, sure. But it is not an easy place to control. Sybercats, they're really searching for something. Alberca, he does have his Silver Edge. Meta at the ready as well. Every single spell apart from the dragon form is available. Looking at Moneymakers, they're very much spooked, and they should be. They have one ward, and finally someone is going to be showing on it. You have one ward, the bottom lane is pushed in. No one showing on the map. Big red flag. Still. They don't have a gem on Sybercats. Probably an investment that they should put their money towards. Or maybe they're hoping that they're just gonna steal one from Moneymakers, who are now going for a smoke. They're actually 1k gold ahead on Moneymakers, despite the Terrorblade being so farmed. They're doing really well for themselves. If you look at their 2 other cores. Alberca, he found a DD. No, you don't want to be fighting this one, because he's gonna smash everybody. Well, he was thing turned into a piggy, but doesn't matter. Look at that damage from Alberca. He's just destroying everybody. If he gets close to Lucas, Lucas will not move, and the Scotty will slow him down. Not enough. He is flying over the trees. That's going to be enough for him to survive, but this is a Roche that's going to be spawning, and that's most definitely going to be something that Sybercats are going to be looking towards. Man, that damage from Alberca, it was actually insane. He found a DD, very unfortunate. I still think he kills the Batrider, but that just looked brutal. And straight into the pit they go. This is the second Roche plus the shard. Chira could get the shard. Rubik already has his. I'm doubting DK Focus will get it, so it's either gonna be Chira or Alberca with a Demon Seal. We'll see. Who gets the Aegis though? Okay, they give it to Alberca. Shard, DK Focus picks it up. Rock Throw, really? He's not eating it. I don't see Rock Throw as a big spell, but they will go for it either way. I guess that AoE stun is somewhat good. Weird. I would expect the Demon Seal or the third spell buff to the Storm that you can activate and give your teammates a little bit more. Of course, without the level 25 talent, it's not as powerful as you would like to be, but It's still not that bad. So Batrider wants the blink, wants the shard. He did go for the Witchblade build. Yegor, he's aware of his need to scale, it seems. But does he really? Not sure. Storm going for Lincolns. Once you have level 18 and Lincolns, it's going to be very hard to catch him. Lasso will get removed. Stun from the Dragonite will get removed. Maybe you can use the enchant, but it's a little bit too easy to maneuver with the Storm Spirit when you have a Lincolns, especially against single target spells. The second it pops, that second you're already out. You're already spooked and zipped away. Lucas, he did go for his ulti yet again, but he's running away. Alberca is chasing forward, and Bigman will get broken, pulled in, and brought down. Oh, Jira! Oh, didn't want to use the pull-in. He thought they had him. He thought he was dead, and he thought wrong. Of course, Sybercats in the last fight, they did claim the gem from their enemies, which is quite big. So right now, if you're Sybercats, you have a couple of options. Right, the most safe one will be claim the enemy triangle with a smoke, take down the tower, control that part of the map, and wait for Moneymakers to get forced into getting out of their base. That's scenario 1, which is, I think, pretty solid. Scenario 2 is Alberca feels super confident and he just walks high ground. Top lane, mid lane, it doesn't really matter in this game. Actually, it does matter versus the Batrider, so top lane. The reason why you don't want to be pushing mid lane versus a Bat, Tiny, any kind of repositioning hero is because he can pull you into tier 4s. That's a problem. From the side lanes, it's a little bit tougher because tier 4s are a little bit too far away. And on the Storm, they're gonna have the lasso. Are they gonna have enough damage with the Mortimer's Kisses? It's not gonna be enough. Jiro pops the BKB. It turns around to fight. He wants to go for the Bat, doing a lot of damage. They're gonna lift him up into the air. He's gonna have to BKB, and he doesn't because he understands he's already dead. And with the Grandma being smashed into the ground, her old bones will not be able to take it. And DK Fogus, he gets a double. He is the one that's kill secured both of those guys, and Moneymakers falling further and further behind with every minute here. Even with the game being on the slower side, they just can't find the right engagements. That was close to killing the Storm, but the problem is the second he pops the BKB, your damage does not exist.
Dire's bottom tower is
Terrorblade
under
level
attack.
20. Hero is a beast. He has a DD yet again. Ooh, this is push time. The last outer tower is not defendable. It's always something that I'm like, teams, they have to defend this one. They're not gonna have anywhere to fight. But
Dire's
we'll see.
bottom tower has fallen.
Alberca,
Dire's bottom tower is under
that's
attack.
kind of high ground, and
Dire's
with his
structures
DD
are
he's gonna be putting a lot of pressure to the tower. Let's see if they can stop him jumping in. Oh, DK Focus, he's the one that gets lifted. A little bit of a miscommunication there from Jess V. He didn't expect that to happen. Alberca really playing with his life here. He still has the Aegis, so he should be fine. He has been hexed up, taking a lot of damage. No problem. He goes onto the Dragonite. Lucas gets destroyed. Slayer will be next. Alberca is a little bit too strong.
Dire's bottom tower.
He definitely packs a punch. You don't have buybacks on Moneymakers. He won't be able to do much. Force Majeure saved by the Rubik, the Soul Rip, keeping him alive. He turns around, so the impetuses don't really deal that much damage to him, and the first lane of Rax in this game will fall 35 minutes into the game. Sybercats, they claim their first lane. They're going for more. 52 seconds until this Dragonite. He doesn't have a buyback. He doesn't have a way to come back into it. He will lose the meta. That's big. And Klaxon, he does have the Aghanim Scepter.
Dire's structures
That's a big deal for sure. Burka. Lotus. There's the Sunder, and goodbye Klaxon. He thought he was tanky, but his soul does get swapped out with the Terrorblade and easily then taken down. Now going for Big Gun as well. He's looking very much dead too, and Moneymakers, they're still not calling GG, but I wouldn't mind if they do, because this could be a second lane of Rax. This is gonna be a second lane of Rax. No way that you can fight this one with 3 of your heroes missing, and Alberca will make short work of those Raxes. His Aegis will expire.
Dire's
He
middle
will get
barracks
himself
are under
away,
attack.
but the damage was already done to Moneymakers. There's the Aegis. His resources are going to be back up to full, and once he has the next meta, it wouldn't surprise me if he just walks top lane. He's going to have the Satanic, so that's basically a that's basically a Aegis of its own. You have to kill this guy thrice. One with the Sunder, one with the Satanic, and then the third time to die. Of course, you do have stuns maybe to burst him. Dragon Tail, Cookie. into lasso or whatever the order of spells is, but it's not good. Well, let's put it that way. It's actually not looking good. 13,000 gold lead, but the biggest problem is that the Terrorblade is 9,000 ahead of everybody else. That's the biggest of deals. The farthing distribution of Sybercats, it does benefit him so much. Nilberka from start to finish, he has been untouched. Just farming, doing whatever he wants. And the Storm Spirit has the Arcane Rune, so this might be the push. No reason not to go for it. He has the Titan Sliver on the Terrorblade, so even those stuns are not going to be lasting for too long. Lincoln Sphere onto the Terrorblade, Lotus onto the Terrorblade. Use your spells if you dare. Actually have double Lincolns on him. Burka. Chakram can be annoying. It's not going to be annoying enough. Soul Rip keeping him healthy. Bignum gets a little bit too close. Broken in more ways than one. This is going to come through Burka. He bombs the BKB and he's going to be lassoed, but over the Lotus or Biegor, he cannot move, he cannot run, he cannot live. He can only die. Soul and Mortimer's Kisses, the Rubik is going to be returning the favor there towards the Moneymakers, and it seems like it's going to be for the fans as well, as they are destroying this game, as they are winning it. Alberca, his Lincolns are going to get broken there. They're just putting everything on this Terrorblade. Actually, they didn't lose two of their supports, so Alberca might not be as strong as he thinks he is. Actually uses the Thunder, that's a little bit too much damage. Chira goes and finishes him off, and Alberca, he has the Satanic. You cannot kill me, I'm too strong. He gets a triple kill. Actually, in the end, they do finish him off, and the range Draxes, they remain alive. So Alberca will lose his life for the first time in this game, and Moneymakers, they show that they can stand their ground. Timbersaw doing 10,000 damage in that fight. The only reason why they're still in this game, and he was not the one that used the buyback. He did everything there, the hexes, the damage, everything. And it was enough not to lose the last Drax, but it's only a range Drax, so Mega Creeps are somewhat inevitable, like Thanos. So speaking of hexes, the Primal Beast does have one now as well. Was able to finish that one off. Surviving the fight often does give you a lot of gold. Overwhelming Blink on the Dragonite. The items are coming through on each side now. He wants a refresher. Double Hex, double Pulverize, double Rock Throw, double BKB. A lot of double things there. If he does finish it off, of course, we'll be needing some time. He just bought the Hex. They'll go for the smoke. They know their enemies don't have all of their buybacks, so you want to use that fact. Actually, Moneymakers, they don't have a single buyback currently. Of course, some of them are just missing the gold. Alberca will be back in no time. This Timbersaw, once he gets a BKB, is actually going to be an even bigger problem. 4k HP, does massive amounts of damage. Klaxon trying to prove himself, the stand-in. Haven't been doing the greatest ever since he joined, but he has had some solid performances.
I'm over here.
Dragonite Illusion will get taken down. It's definitely not squishy. What would you expect anyways? And a smoke from Moneymakers. Storm is gonna have his Lincolns in a second. Has to be very, very careful of Burka in the vicinity. Oh, Butterfly as well. What's happening? Why does he have every single item in the book? The smoke coming through. Moneymakers, they don't know that this Roche is happening. Will be jumping in onto the Rubik. He does have a buyback, so might not be the best target. Jira going in onto the Bathray. They want to kill him, but Alberca, he cannot do the damage from afar. Lotus Orb onto Jira. You cannot lasso him. That's a dead bad. No buyback on him. Now jumping in on Lucas's BKB. Should be expiring fairly soon. Alberca is being kited. They're keeping him away. And he makes the decision to go back into the pit. The Roche is very healthy, and with double chakrams coming through, you have to be very, very careful about how you approach it. Alberca, yeah. He doesn't have to be careful. It seems like he feels invincible. Uses the Demon Zeal. So movement attack speed going forward. They're gonna get the Hex onto the Timbersaw. It's a big kill. Stonecrafter getting up into the air, and finally they're gonna smash him into the ground as Alberca does the damage. The buyback from the Timbersaw will come out as well as on the Undying. And well, Moneymakers, this is your last hurrah. He's buying back even to save his Draxes, to save his face from Mega Creeps. Bignum getting gone on, Ruby getting stunned up. The Glimmer Cave will be protected. Nicely done by Jess V. The Aegis does get taken there. It's gonna be a Hex and the Trample onto Bignum. He needs to run away. He's actually pretty fast, but He is being healed up quite nicely. There's a dust over the glimmer. His movement speed is going to be reduced even further, and he will finally be brought down by Chira, who's now unstoppable. So, Mega Creeps incoming. Alberca. He doesn't seem like he's playing around. He didn't get the Aghanims from the Roche. Look at his net worth. He has the Terror Wave, so low duration meta. It can be there if you need it. There are the Mega Creeps. Moneymakers, they're still not calling GG. They want to try to exert Sybercats as much as they can, so that for future games they're gonna be tired. Alberca, Demon Zeal, going for it. Glyph is at the ready. They will use it. Chira jumps in. And coming in. Nice! Spit out there onto Alberca. He gets hexed up. Actually, he's gonna be fine. He does have a Sunder. We're losing Hunter the Illusion. It doesn't matter. He gets his HP back now. With the Terror Wave, he starts to instill fear into his opponents. And that fear will be used to force them to call GG. Moneymakers, to be honest, ever since the laning stage, they were losing this. And Alberca not touched a single time. He died only once as he was in your base. And that pretty much goes to show how comfortable Sybercats were in this game, to be honest. I think there wasn't a point in the game where they were like, okay, guys, this is a problem. We could have an issue here. No, Alberca was constantly telling his teams, guys, I'm fine. I'm the strongest one on the map. I'm going to kill all of them. As soon as he got the Scotty, it became so easy. Then items started flowing one after another. And also their itemization was great. A couple of Lincoln Spheres, Lotus Orbs, very good against single target spells, which, well, on the side of Moneymakers, they did have a lot of. Still, guys, it's only game number 1, so it doesn't have to mean anything. I felt like with Klaxon, with the stand-in, because they're still getting used to it, that Moneymakers are coming in as a slight underdog, but we were all hoping for a game number 3. Are we going to get it? Is there going to be a decider? We don't know, but we find out after a short break, so stay with us.